Welcome to Changing Education Group and using the Work Experience Suite. Today we're going to give you a bit of a demonstration on the key functionalities that you will be able to use to manage your work experience program with your students and to get the most out of the software. So we will start with the initial dashboard. So once you log onto the system, you will be presented with the initial stats. So here we can see you'll be shown the number of students that you have placed so far, how many are unplaced, as well as how many employers are supporting your school this year. Along the right hand side of the screen, you're going to see an overview of where all the students are up to in the process and how many students have taken action on each of the sections as we go through the delivery model. The welcome pack that has been provided will outline the delivery model for all clients. What we're doing within the video is to link each of the stages to the system to show you exactly how you can follow each of the steps through. Steps 1 and 2 will be done off the system, so please get in touch about ensuring all the students are on the system and uploaded correctly. And for launching the program with your students, we will have provided and can send on if you are missing the documentation, but we will have provided the launch assembly pack and a launch assembly video to share with your students. So before we go any further, just a reminder that you'll want to read through the delivery model that we've provided so you can get more of an understanding of the 10 key steps. And if you have any questions regarding that, please reach out to the wider customer service team and we'll be happy to help. So once you've logged in, you've got all your stats on the home page. The daily tasks that we would recommend for any users to take as soon as you log in is to refer down to the tasks bar. So on the left hand side of the page, you'll see the task bar. If we click into this, we'll be presented with all the key options that we're going to use, ranging from the pre-placement phases all the way through to the attendance while the students are out on placement, as well as the feedback from the employers and students post-placement. We'll start on the pre-placement taskbar. This will be your go-to page whenever you log in. This will show a breakdown of every student and where they're up to in the process once they've accessed the system. Here will be displayed the actions that have been taken in green, and anything is yet to be actioned will show in orange on your screen. Best way to work through this is to make sure that you've selected 1,000 rows to include all the students, and we'll be able to work our way through from the delivery model. Step 3, students take action. So within the system, if you are on the tasks pre-placement bar, we can send out the student access email in bulk using the button at the top, and we can also send out individually the invites to the students by selecting the button next to the names with the login. If any students haven't logged in, we'll be able to see that when the last invite was sent. If on an individual basis you'd like to send invite reminders out to the students, we can click this button, and this, you will see on the top of the page, will display that the app invite reminder is being sent, and we'll also see that the date has been updated as you last sent it. For the users first logging into the system, if you want to send out the app invite to all students, we've got the option at the top of the page here. We can select this. It will display an option of who to send the student app invites to. we can select students that have never logged in if it's the first time using it. We can, if we've added students during the academic year, we can select students that haven't been invited. And for any students that haven't logged in recently, we can send them reminders separately too. Our recommendation is, if you're logging on for the first time, to mark the students that have never logged in, click the send button, and that's going to send it to every student that's in the system. That's going to be the first starting point for all users. Once the app invite has been sent out to the students, we will provide you with further information to show how the students are able to access the app or through the online portal. Within the app for the students, they're able to access the skills builder side of the program. This is inclusive for all users, and you're able to track how many of the students will have used this system and when they were last accessed. If you wanted any further information on this, we're able to select the student's name, look under assessments, and we're able to see how that student scored themselves on each of the key groups within the skills builder. Again, to be able to send out any reminders to students that haven't used it, we're able to click on an individual basis, as well as sending a bulk reminder to all users. So that's a little added extra for all the schools that are enrolled within the work experience suite. It's not mandatory for the students by any means, but if you would like to access that or you need any further information, please just let us know at any time. Step 4, self-placement and verification. This is the element that the teachers will be taking control of, and you will be doing this by coming to the Verify Applications tab and following the steps through to review application. Step 5, selecting a placement opportunity. This is provided for any of our schools which have purchased sourced opportunities from Change in Education Group. You are able to assign and track all of the sourced opportunities within the employer section. You will see the opportunities tab where you will be displayed the company names, the opportunities, along with the dates that the employer will support and how many are able to support, along with the option to place your students. The students are going to put their placements onto the app or the online portal, and once they've submitted their placement details from the teacher side of things, you will be displayed the applications that are waiting to be verified. Again, all falls under the taskbar, and if we go to this page, we're able to see the list of the students waiting to have their applications verified, the employers that they're proposing to visit, and the dates that they're going for the work placement, alongside when those placements were submitted onto the system. Just a quick top tip here for all the teachers using the system: we recommend to verify the applications within a week's period, just to ensure that the employer receives the confirmation email and that they can then fulfill the risk management side of things. So if you could get into the habit of logging in once or twice a week to check on any applications outstanding, that's great practice. And then what we do when we're on this page under the taskbar is we'll come to the right hand side, we're going to select Review Application. It will then display the company name, a contact name, an email address and a phone number, along with the company address details. Now, a key bit here to note is for anybody verifying applications, the minimum requirement to undertake any risk management on the system is that there is an email address and a phone number available. If for any reason there isn't, or it looks to be invalid, or we've seen examples, and I'm sure teachers will be aware, that students may put in their own details. You're able at the bottom of the page to put in the reason that the application will be denied, and then we can select the deny placement button on the bottom left, and that will send a notification to that student with the reason that the application has been denied. If all the details look correct and legitimate, we can go to the next step of the verification process by selecting Verify. We will be displayed the role details that the student has inputted into the application. In this example, they're working within the Creative Arts Studio. We're also displayed with the dates and that the placement will be taking place. A key thing to note here for all teachers verifying applications is that these dates will be displayed to all employers on any correspondence from this point forward. So, as everybody has fixed dates, it's good to just check that these fall within that week of work placement, and if they don't, rather than denying the placement, a teacher is able to update the dates accordingly, select the correct dates, so the end date, and then proceed through the verification process from there without having to return back to the student. So just a reminder there, ensure that the dates are correct, just to make sure that the employer gets the correct information and it doesn't cause any future confusion between the student and the employer relationship. The timetable will be displayed that's been agreed between the student and the employer. It will also display any health issues that the student may have included on their application. And then at the bottom of the page, there's a section which will include the employer thank you email being sent. We don't need to take any action with that, that's the default setting. And this just ensures that the employer receives confirmation that the student will be joining them at the displayed dates. If we're happy with all these elements, we're going to click Save and Continue, and that placement has been confirmed within the system. So from a teacher perspective, check in once or twice a week, ensure that the placements are being verified in a timely manner, follow the application verification process, and that is all the key actions from a teacher's perspective on the verification process. Step 6, risk management. Once the application has been verified, you will see this appear within the risk management priority list, which again will fall under the task element on the left-hand side of the page. And we will see here that the application that we have just approved for Steve Hackers now falls within the priority list. One thing to note here is any teachers that are using an essentials package will be managing their own risk management. So to enable this, we're able to send a bulk risk assessment request. To do this, we want to select all the employers on the list, select Send Risk Assessment Request, and this will then send a request to every employer on this list. For any teachers who are on a Plus or a 360 package and Change in Education manage your risk management, there is no action for you to be taken on this page, but it gives you full visibility of any outstanding risk assessments waiting for students on their placements. You're able to see who the student is along the right hand side, what placement they're going to, as well as the last date that the risk assessment was requested from either our team or internally. If a student was to approach a teacher to request that the employer has not seen this email, you're able to send this on an ad hoc basis by selecting the button on the right hand side of the page, and this will send a reminder email to that employer to complete the risk management. So just to recap there, any customers on Essentials package will need to look after the risk management themselves. They can do this on an individual basis or on a bulk request. We would recommend that these reminders are sent on a weekly basis to ensure that risk management is completed in a timely manner from a safeguarding perspective for the students, and also to highlight any issues that may arise around employers not having the correct employer's liability insurance. We will provide you with separate information regarding managing your own risk assessments. So for the Plus and 360 clients, this is just to display and give you full line of sight of any outstanding risk assessments, and we will alert you to specific examples should any concerns be raised with ourselves directly. If a placement is not displayed in this list, it means that the employer has completed the risk management and that placement is set to go ahead as agreed on the dates that the student has confirmed with the employer. If we come back to the pre-placement tab here under the taskbar, we will then be able to report accordingly on the students who have created placements, ones who may be waiting teacher verification, and the students that have not yet secured a placement. Once the placement has been secured, we can then see the relevant table here displaying the risk assessment status. This will show what date the risk assessment has been submitted, as well as the ones who haven't yet confirmed the risk assessment. It will display when these were last requested by either ourselves on the managed service or by yourselves internally if you're on the Essentials package. Just another top tip there as a reminder is to, if you are managing your own risk assessments, to make sure that the last request was in the previous 7-day period. And again, we will send relevant documents out on a weekly basis to ensure that this being actioned. Step 7, placement resource packs. Teachers will be able to send out to all of the students their pre-placement documents by simply selecting the button underneath the student placement docs table. By selecting this, it will send that to the students, and just as a reminder, for all Plus and 360 clients, we will send these documents out on your behalf, and they will contain a copy of the risk management and all the employer details the student will require to carry out their work placement. That covers pretty much everything from the pre-placement phase. Once you can get up and running on the system, we can get the app invite emails sent out to the students. They're able to then log their placements. You can verify the placements, and then you can manage the risk assessment process as well and keep full line of sight if we're managing it for you. Step 8 within the placement phase is now first day and attendance. To be able to track this, if we select the date that we're due to do the attendance tracking, so some schools may want to do this internally, you may want to do site visits as well. This gives you the ability to keep a full line of sight of this throughout that whole week of the student being out on placement. We can see that we have the student name, the company name and a phone number, and we can see if the employer has completed the attendance for you, and if not, we will see that there is a no status tab here. We can then make a phone call, check the attendance and mark whether that student is present or absent. We will send more information out on this nearer the time of the placement taking place, but that is just a very quick overview on this introduction video. Step 9, post-placement phase, falls within the feedback and self-assessment stage. We also have the ability through the system to show the feedback from the students and the employers at the end of the placements. You're able to see the scores that each of the students would fall under for each of the 10 attributes, which again will provide more information on. And you're also able to see if the appraisal's been completed, and for the employers where none have been completed, you're able to chase those yourselves by clicking the button next to the request, or in bulk by selecting the button at the top of the page for the selection and hitting the request appraisals button. That will then send out a bulk appraisal request to all outstanding employers. And just a reminder here, the feedback from the employers will also feed into the certificates that the students will receive at the end of the programme. So it is very important to be able to chase those reminders with the employers and to be able to track when and how they've been received. Step 10, certificates and results data. We will also send more information on how to download the certificates for each of the students, and they'll be emailed to those relevant students once the appraisals have been completed as well. We will provide more information on each of these key steps, so this intro video today is just to give you a very quick overview of the system, to introduce you to the key functionalities, and to allow you to begin getting the placements onto the system. Should you need any more guides or information, if you refer to the left-hand side of the page, we've got our knowledge base. Within here, on the user guides, you will find a video step for each of the 10 delivery models. This will refer you back to show you how to action each of the points within the software. If you have any further questions or would like to reach out, please contact us by email and we'll be more than happy to assist.